I've forgotten how to make a normal video. I don't know how to do it. Let's give it a go. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and to something other than me and Greg gallivanting across Scotland when we weren't supposed to and in places we weren't supposed to. That series is finished. I won't ruin any more than that in case you haven't checked that out. But welcome back other fans who maybe don't like that side of my channel. Maybe you just like the Geo stuff. So here we are. We're back with this. Sorry it's been a bit sporadic recently. I haven't made a GeoGuessr video in over a couple of weeks now. And it's just because I had so much editing to do and it all builds up on me at the last minute. I've also had so much other stuff going on. I'm moving house. This might be one of the last times you see this scene. But I'm still this will be my office for a few more days. Patreons, of which there are quite a few now. Do not worry, the bonus footage, the first episode of the bonus footage will be up very soon. But I'm going to do this first. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Anyway, let's get into this. It's one of your favourite series, Geo Detective, in which I try and find out the locations of my pesky fans who have sent in some photos of themselves that are gettable, as we found last episode with Billy Biscuit and Barry Eggington. They were quite gettable. So was Bananas Hippledick. But Aaron Amberleaf, on the other hand, not so gettable, and I had to give up. I got the city, it was London, but couldn't get any closer than that. This week, I'm a bit bunged up, by the way. I've got hay fever, so ignore that. This week, we've got Bjorn Bunter. Come on, enlarge yourself, Bjorn. Enlarge yourself. There he is. So, obviously, he's got a Swedish name for a start, Bjorn Bunter, but a Swedish football shirt on, who held Spain to a very tidy draw the other day. And if we have if we do that in a reasonable time, it's on to Bobby Tegnut, and a picture of presumably his 3 children, wherever that is. Which I'm not even going to, I mean, it's not Scandinavia, it might be Canada. I'm not going to focus on that just yet. But let's focus today on Bjorn Bunter and presumably this Swedish snap. Now, it could be wrong. It could be an absolute red herring. And it could be Norway. It could be Luxembourg. I mean, I don't know why I've said Luxembourg, to be honest. I think it's the hilliness and the trees. But surely I've got to start in Sweden here and sort of try and exhaust that avenue. And if it becomes apparent that, well, if I'm struggling, then I'll have to move elsewhere, basically. But for now, here we go. Where's Bjorn? I should mention, okay, this is the moment that I mentioned that they aren't their real names. Okay, I'm just going to mention that in this episode, just to make that clear, just in case anyone was stupid enough to think that Bananas Hippledick and Billy Biscuit and Anna Spencer Cartwright Pistachio were real names. No offence, but that's a bit stupid. But yeah, so Bjorn, because it might throw some of you off. Some of you might think, no, that's Swedish, but it's not his real name. But the shirt is real. So let's get into this then. I've got to open Google Earth. There we are. I'm hovered above Sweden. Is there a flag in the background? As always, this is the first time I'm really looking at this in any sort of detail. So I can't see a flag. It's just the buildings. The trees could be anywhere in Europe, really. But it's the buildings here and the lay of the land. The fact that we have a park down here, I would say. Some sort of park. And then up here, we're higher up. We've got this banister, this old brick banister. So there is some undulating ground there to go on when I go into Google Earth. I'll have the terrain function on, but the most important thing will be the 3D buildings. And I'm going to go into Stockholm and I'm just going to see what it's looking like. Is it this hilly at all? I'm pretty sure it's fairly flat. So, oh man, this could be hard, couldn't it, thinking about it. Because there's nothing distinctive to look for in this one, unlike some of the ones we've had, such as the one with the mosque, or, you know, Bananas Hippledick there, or this cable car or this palace, where I was actually Googling specific things. This one, I don't think there's anything like that. So this is a case of, there'll be a lot of me scouring Google Earth, speeding it up, updating you with my thought process. But I very much doubt that I'm going to get this straight away. So it's going to be one of them ones. So in we go. I've gravitated to this straight away, rightly or wrongly. Let's get terrain on. There we go, because then we've got the undulation. That's promising. So we do have hills in Stockholm. But just got to wait for it all to load. But that's promising. That's a bit more promising because, you know, that isn't too dissimilar, that sort of view there, is it? So that's good. So in terms of where the sun may be, I could agree that the sun mostly is over that side. It's a bit bright over there, but that might not necessarily mean the sun is over there. But if the sun is over there, I guess we can say that that's roughly south. Like, we're not looking directly north. You know, so that's something. But I think let's not get too bogged down in that just yet. I'm gonna have to just search for a good while, guys. And look for those buildings, really. I think that's the main thing I've got to do. Look for that and that. So let's look for those. That distinctive sort of mint green, copper, I don't know what you call those, you know, window roofs. That'll do for now. And that church there. Of course, this might not be Sweden. Could be Finland, could be could be Denmark, could be Norway. So you've got to bear that in mind. And it just means that with each search you do, how vigorously should you be searching in each city? So at the moment, we're a long way away. But I am going to start searching for some of these church roofs. So I'm starting to think that Stockholm, not that I've searched that well, but, you know, it's becoming apparent to me that, look, there's lots of cities in Sweden and maybe you're not in the right one. And again, it's how long do you search in one particular place? How long do you spend in one particular place before moving on to the next and knowing that you can always come back? This is a good place, isn't it? If it's the best I've found, I'd say. But I'm not finding that exact scene. That is actually quite similar. I don't think it's the same because that's a standalone tower, but pretty similar, I have to say. Does give me hope that it's Sweden for sure. I think it would be cruel of Bjorn not to be in Sweden whilst wearing that shirt. I really do. Right. Yeah. Let's go. Let's move cities. So what's next then? I think the trees, if anything, do look fairly south. Maybe. I don't know. So let's go to... Well, let's try Malmo for a start. Let's just have a look. You know, it's not going to take us long, but the cities will get smaller now. And we're looking for quite a distinctive, you know, undulating area. So, and Malmo looks pretty flat. Straight away. So I'm going to move from Malmo straight away. Again, I can always come back. Copenhagen. No, I'm going to stay in Sweden. It's decision makings, isn't it? Let's go to Lund very quickly. You know. You never know. It's a bit inland. What's going on here in Lund? I think we visited Lund, didn't we, on Hometown Roulette when I used to do those. Yeah, I'm going to move on from Lund. And I'm going to go from city to city now. Just looking for a bit of a hilly one, really. I'm going to keep in the major ones. Let's try Gothenburg. Let's try this one. Just had an idea. I wonder if I could type in tallest buildings in each city. Because if it is a smaller city, which I don't think it is, but that might be on the list. Clear as day, you know? There's one's called Skyscraper Page. I mean, they're not skyscrapers, I know, but they're very complete lists. So I might, if I'm struggling, I'm tempted to do that pretty soon, actually. Very red roofs here, aren't they? All in all, which I'm not really seeing there at all. So I'm moving from Gothenburg. The red roofs has put me right off. Helsingborg. What's this place like? No, I think we're out of luck here too in Helsingborg. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to search a couple more cities. I won't bore you with it because I'm just doing the same thing as I'm doing here. And if I get anything of note, I'll stop it. Okay, let's go to Oslo. I think the question we've got to ask ourselves is here, as my mind starts to wonder whether this is in pastures further south. Do these buildings differ to what we're seeing here? Could that be like, you know, as I said earlier, Luxembourg or something like that? I still think that church looks very Swedish. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll jump to Google. Let's have a little bit of a change of scene. Luxembourg City, and let's just find some photos. Scroll through the photos here. Yeah, the underrated capital of Europe. That doesn't look too dissimilar to what we're seeing there. I'm sure you'll agree. Is it the same? I don't know. All the roofs there are dark slate. Not really the case here, but you know, it's just, I think it's these bits that drew me to Luxembourg. There's lots of these green undulating areas like this. That's what drew me to it, but I just don't think that is. I think that's a Scandinavian church. But it's fun to have a look. It's worth having a look. It's useful. It's definitely the right kind of size city that it could be, but look at the steeples. They're all of a certain type. They're long and thin, I think. Like, look at those. And for that reason, I'm out, I think. So, after deciding against Luxembourg City, I had a quick look in a couple of similar Belgian cities before checking Copenhagen, Aalborg, Bergen, Trondheim, Turku and Tallinn. No, that looks nothing like it, does it? I even had a look at Poznan, Brno, Bern and Vienna, just to confirm that the architecture in those countries was actually significantly different. Tired and unsatisfied at looking at cities, I returned to Google to see if there was a path to glory via the church roof shape in the background. Okay, back into Google. Types of Swedish massage. Maybe another time. Types of Swedish steeple. No, not the steeplechase. Okay. Any danger of a key for that? Frustrated by the lack of information I could find, I returned once again to Stockholm. Well, everyone, I'm not giving up. Don't worry. Not by any stretch, but I've found myself back in Stockholm, thinking that there's nowhere I've found that's more likely, and I've searched, I believe, everywhere else that's likely, and that I probably didn't search this hard enough, because it's a big place and all that. You know, so for now, I'm going to do my next level, if you like, of Stockholm searching, and hope to God that it comes up with some results, because I'll be really stumped if not. I won't lie to you, I'm really shattered. Not as a result of this video. I'm just tired anyway. Not moaning, I'm just saying, oh, hang on. Oh no, that's the one we saw earlier, isn't it? But my point was, I'm struggling. I'm battling on, but I'm struggling right now. I might need to resume this tomorrow. In which case, you'll have gone another day without a video. The thing is about this place, we're not on a high place looking down. That's the thing. It goes down, but then that building up there is taller than us. That's higher up than we are. So it's like we need buildings, other buildings that are on higher ground, and then other bits that are lower, and you know, so things like this is good, where we've got buildings at different levels. On that note, my instinct took me back to a city completely surrounded by ups and downs. A city with grey roofs encircled by a tree-covered gorge. I say, look at that. That is actually scary. I'm back in Luxembourg City, if you're trying to figure out what that LU stood for. And although I don't think we're here because of some of the other buildings, and the fact that that one does look a bit more Scandinavian, but it's honestly pretty close, you know, so many ways. And it's got that different levels. Key thing I was just saying about. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Are you telling me that's not our building? Are you telling me that that isn't that? Well, it is. It bloody is. And there we are, look. Should have spent longer looking here. Should have, but at least I've got it. Oh my goodness, look. There's that red building there. I'm annoyed at myself for not spending longer here. I wrongly thought that this building here, with its green window roofs, looked more Scandinavian. What do I know? These buildings here just didn't sit right with me in Scandinavia. That one I thought was Scandinavian, I have to say. I said it all along. These ones here were the most Luxembourgian ones of all for me, or Belgium. That's why I briefly looked in Belgium, like Charleroi, Liège. But I've got it. Now for just pinpointing that exact location. Oh my God. I'm so tired. I can't believe I've done that. It was so good to see that just pop up. Right, how far are we away then? Next part, I'll try not to spend too long on this. Got to find those there. And I think that's them. So I'll probably have to use Street View here, but I'd say... Whoa, 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 where are we going? I think we're there. I'm going to put the man down just here. Yeah, that's where he is. That's it. Okay. More. If only there was some yellow plates in the picture. Right, now we've got to try and line this up, haven't we? So we can count, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we are on number 10. I can't zoom in here, so I'm going to go on Google Maps where you can actually zoom in. Okay, we can't get it on Google Maps, so it's back to Google Earth, and we'll try and do it here. So, yeah, we can do this. We can draw lines directly down. We can draw lines directly down, which is the only accurate way to do this, and we can compare. Or we can just study this, the trees behind. Look at that. We've got a cross on that one and a cross on that one. Is there anything distinctive about this? Those two are a bit set back. Those two there and the final one. Okay, we can do this. Top left tip of the tower. Down to the floor. And comparing the two, I would say, judging by those two, that in the Google Earth position, the Google Street View position, we're further to the right, which is the opposite to what I would have suspected. The problem is we can't see how far that building goes. Oh. Are these the ones? Are we the opposite of what I just said? And are we at these new ones? Because I just thought it was bad imagery, but I think these are different stones. Look. Well, maybe these have been touched up. Those haven't. This imagery could be old. Yet 2009 this was taken. So, you know, those look new. At that point. These look old. These might have been replaced. 2009. I mean, this photo could have been taken in 2020. You know, 10 years later. So, mind you, that's not new. These aren't new. But maybe if they were new in 2009, they would look like that now. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's confusing as hell. But my triangulation, no, we clearly weren't this far over to the right. It's not triangulation, but it's something. We're clearly, for me, over here, and it might just be the bad light. Maybe they cleaned them up. Probably cleaned them up. Got all this, you know, lichen and moss off them. Scrubbed them up a bit so you can see that square, and it probably is the bad imagery. So I'm going to have to just put a marker down now, guys. And I'm going to say, I'm going to go that one. I'm going to go with my triangulation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm saying. Away. Can we even see that from above? Maybe, maybe not, to be honest. Ooh, yeah, we can do it like that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bjorn Bunter. Those windows there are just to the right of that chimney there. That does put us about there. So yeah, I'm happy. That's roughly where the marker is. Sorry to be so anal about this. It's just how I am. That is my marker for Bjorn Bunter. And that will conclude today's episode because I am nukered. Thanks so much, Bjorn, for sending your photo in. But please, no more photos at all. I'm swamped with them as it is. Don't send any more. I appreciate that you want to be a part of this, but you know, there's a huge list of my Patreons that they're already queuing up. So Bjorn, there you go. I think I've got you. I'll email you that location, and you can tell me how close or far I was, but I'm pretty sure I'm within 25 meters, which I've just decided that second is the margin for error. But no, actually, I'm going to grade them. In fact, you might even see a little spreadsheet there with how well I've done on each one, because there's getting too many now to fit on that folder screen. So there it is. That's how I'm doing so far. Varying degrees of success, but most of them gotten to some degree. And I believe that's another one added to the list. So thanks so much for watching, everyone, and do tune in next week for the confirmation from Bjorn. But most importantly, to see me try and identify this. I think it's a Northern American one. I think I can get that, but who knows? Looks hard. I'll see you there.